hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Back here at the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic, the 4th and final day as we get on to the placement games for the first time today, as it is now time for the Consolation Final, first between the Lincoln Way Knights and the Stevenson Patriots. Here with Nick Johnston, I'm Chris Rouse, and Nick, we got Stevenson, we got Lincoln Way Central. What are you looking to see in this matchup?
Looking to see some good defense, looking to see some great offense, honestly. Only got 8 minutes a quarter, so hopefully we can get the ball moving.
Starting lineups for both teams being announced down on the floor as we speak, but we are now in the placement matchups, Nick. We got the 7th place matchup here. 5th place will be next between Rockford Auburn and Hinsdale Central. 3rd place matchup between Brother Rice and Oswego East, and then the championship between Marion and unbeaten DePaul Prep. Here are the starting lineups on the floor. Now, Stevenson is in the white uniforms with the green trim and gold swipes on them, green letters, green numbers with gold outlining, and their starting lineup will look like this for the following matchup. First, for the Stevenson Patriots, as out on the floor, they will line up with the following starting 5, and here's what the Patriots have decided to come out of the court with. They'll go with Atticus Richmond, number 3, Aiden Bardick, number 4, Rocco Pagliocca, number 5. Number 12 will be Armin Burris, and number 13 will be Jack Dabbs. They're going up against this Lincoln Way Central Knights roster, and they will start like this. They'll come out with number 5, Ben McLaughlin, number 11, Kevin Barrett, number 12, Logan Bechtel, number 21 will be Corey Cagnolati, and number 23 will be Brett Bethke as we get it underway here. With Stevenson going right to left, Lincoln Way Central, left to right. Pagliocca out there on the right wing. Ball goes to the left corner for Stevenson. Atticus Richmond up top to Pagliocca, left angle. Stopped by Cagnolati. Up top to Jack Dabbs. Here's a handoff to Richmond. Left angle, right block layup is in for Richmond.
Nice smooth finger roll on that one.
Atticus Richmond opening the scoring in the Consolation matchup. 2-0 Stevenson Patriots here against the Lincoln Way Central Knights. Cagnolati feeds the ball down low. And the ball kicked out for the Knights. Pretty good win yesterday for Lincoln Way Central. They were able to score a 51-47 win over Lane Tech. Bit of an upset in my book. Now here's Cagnolati into the paint. Right-hand floater. Good for Cagnolati to start it off.
Just jumped right over him. Had the nice space right there.
2-2 our score. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Stevenson pushing towards the timeline with Armin Burris. Burris picked up by Kevin Barrett, number 11. Here's a jump shot from Pagliocca off the mark. Rebounded by Burris. Nice job by Burris. He had a man on his hip. Still got the board, just couldn't finish. Rebound kicked out here for Lincoln Way Central. They get up the court with McLaughlin. McLaughlin over to Cagnolati. And right back. McLaughlin dribbled to the top just to give it to Cagnolati with a left-hand pass. Ball goes to the right corner to Kevin Barrett. Barrett, top of the key, guarded by Burris. Finds Corey Cagnolati on the right angle. Guarded by Pagliocca. Jump shot on the right baseline is blocked by Pagliocca. Recovered by Dabbs of Stevenson. Atticus Richmond, he's had a great tournament. So is Pagliocca. 3 in for Pagliocca.
Nice find right there for the wide open man for the 3.
Rocco Pagliocca, the left corner 3, opens the three-point scoring in this game. That's first three-point field goal for either team, 5-2 Stevenson. Barrett, left side of the court, guarded by Burris. Up top to McLaughlin. McLaughlin working on Aiden Bardick. Stopped at the free throw line. Passed out to Barrett, left corner. Back to Cagnolati, top of the key. And back to Barrett. Over to Cagnolati. Cagnolati driving down to the right block, and he's fouled by Pagliocca. Both had their leg extended. Foul will go against the defender.
It's a good attempt to get into the lane right there and create some contact, and sure enough, he's going to get two at the line.
Cagnolati.
The hard way.
Cagnolati will go to the stripe. He's actually looking at his teammates. They're trying to get the play right following the free throws here. I think the scores table didn't know who the foul was on. It's on Pagliocca. Now Cagnolati has stepped back to the stripe, and he hits the first. Corey Cagnolati's been a big offensive weapon for Lincoln Way Central to this point in the tournament. Typically has the ball in his hand. And he makes the free throw, makes it 5-4. Stevenson cuts the deficit to 1 for Lincoln Way Central. Aiden Bardick with the inbound. 5-4 Stevenson with 5:27 to go in the first quarter. Top of the key, 3 from Richmond off the mark. Rebounded by McLaughlin for Lincoln Way Central. Stops at the free throw line. Pull-up jumper right in Richmond's face and cashed it.
Nice opportunity with the man right in his face.
6-5. Lincoln Way Central with the lead. Bardick picked up his dribble in front of his bench. Gets it to Burris, who gets it to Pagliocca. It's a 3-on-2. Pagliocca stops on the dime. Right angle 3 off the rim. Tapped out by McLaughlin. Run down by Lincoln Way Central.
Good attempt to break up that full court press by Lincoln Way Central.
Cagnolati lost the dribble on the crossover. Tried to feed it down low. Instead, it's stolen by Dabbs as he just knocked that one away and took it. Dabbs to Bardick. Bardick over to Richmond right corner. He drives and kicks to Pagliocca left corner. Over to Bardick left angle. Nice pass. Feeding it to Burris with the shovel pass.
Nice way to find the open man down low right on the box.
9-6 Stevenson. And Lincoln Way Central still trying to find their offense. Barrett, top of the key. Lincoln Way Central. Get a 3 from McLaughlin. Off the rim, rebounded by Richmond. It's actually 7-6 Stevenson, not 9-6. Here's Burris out of the front court. Had some issues with the score in the last game as well. Here's Pagliocca. Stops at the left elbow. Over to Dabbs, to Richmond in the right corner. Bardick right angle from where Dabbs was at. He goes to the basket and finishes over Cagnolati.
Well, Cagnolati was trying to get the charge attempt. Didn't get it.
Bardick able to finish. Nice curl to the basket. He finished right over the top of him, making it 9-6. Cagnolati right wing. Passes over to the left side to Barrett. And now a feed down to the left baseline. Lincoln Way Central working the ball inside, and they get a quick score there. As Bechtold scores, makes it 9-8. It's first 2 for him. Across the timeline is Bardick. He's got a man in the corner. There's Jack Dabbs, left corner 3. Off the rim, McLaughlin tapped it to himself and then secured the rebound. 2-on-2. He's got Barrett in the left corner. Didn't need the help because he floated it in all net.
Nice way. Nice floater right there.
Cagnolati actually credited with the assist that the hit him with the push up the floor. Dabbs loses the ball, and Dabbs scores. So Dabbs lost the ball about 20 feet to the block. Left block picked it up, laid it in with the right hand. 11-10 Stevenson. First 2 of the game from Dabbs. It's now Barrett into the front court for Lincoln Way Central. Feeds it down low to Bechtold. He had Burris fronted, but Burris able to swipe around and get the steal. Armand Burris up to Bardick. AB to AB. Bardick from Burris lays it in.
A lot of quick scoring there by the Patriots.
A and B conversation results in points on the board for Stevenson. And now here's Lincoln Way Central. Cagnolati. Over to McLaughlin. Looking for Barrett, left baseline. Backing down on Burris. Had it knocked away to Aiden Bardick. It's a 2-on-2. Bardick to Richmond. Lays it up with the right hand. Ooh. Lays it up is an understatement. He slammed it in. It was a bit of a rim grazer, but he got it down.
One hand jam right there. My goodness.
15-10 Stevenson. Richardson with his first 2 points. That's an emphatic first 2 points of this one. McLaughlin top of the key. Guarded by Bardick. Cagnolati on the right wing. Feeds it down low. Turnaround jumper for Lincoln Way Central is long off the rim. Rebounded there by Richmond.
Ill-advised shot right there. Got covered all over the place.
Pagliocca. Over to Dabbs, left angle. He feeds it down low to Richmond. Here's a drive. Kick out to Burris for three. Got it to go.
Wide open shot for Burris right there on the left wing for three.
Burris making that three, makes it 18-10. Timeout, Lincoln Way Central. Evan Wiley not happy with what he's seen out of his team so far. 1:22 to go here in the first quarter. What are you liking on the floor so far?
So far, a lot of quick scoring there for Lincoln Way Central. Finding the open man, sure enough, on the transition as well. And you had Stevenson, or excuse me, a lot of scoring there by the Patriots. And in fact, on the other side, the full court press by Lincoln Way Central seems like he was getting fed through. So gonna have to figure out something there.
18-10 the score. Stevenson has begun this game with an 8-point lead. This is the first placement game of the day. The winner of this will be the Consolation champion. Nice way to say 7th place. As now it's an 18-10 advantage for the Stevenson Patriots with 1:22 to go here in the first quarter. 5th place coming up next between Rockford Auburn and Hinsdale Central, the hosts. Wouldn't be surprised if that draws a pretty good crowd. Might rival the championship game, but I think that championship game will easily have it beat.
I think so.
Barrett into the front court for Lincoln Way Central. They trail by 8. Pass over to the top of the key for the Knights. McLaughlin 3 over Bardick off the rim. Rebounded again by Burris. And a whistle. And the official going to have a warning for that. I don't know if it's really a warning. He kind of just told everyone to sit down on that Stevenson bench.
Yeah, he just kind of gave him all right, boys, take a seat.
First-year coach Will Benson now going to have to get his team in check as he goes down the back of the bench to make them all sit down. Action resumes with under a minute to go. Aiden Bardick into the front court. Burris right angle. Looking for Richmond at the top of the key. Now he does give it to him. Richmond at about 25 feet. Pass over to the right wing. Whistle and a travel. Travel against Stevenson, turn it over.
Haven't had many Stevenson turnovers so far. That's probably why they have this lead right now.
40 seconds to go in the first quarter. McLaughlin from Barrett. And back to McLaughlin, left angle. McLaughlin's on the right angle for first pass. This shot is a jumper from the left block, missed it. Rebounded well inside by Stevenson. Liam Curtin on the board.
Good job creating space, just couldn't connect on the shot.
Curtin has given Stevenson solid minutes in this tournament. No different here in this first quarter, giving him a quick rebound. Bardick dribbling maybe about 2 steps off the timeline with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's 18-10 Stevenson. Bardick, left-hand dribble to the top of the key. Wanted to feed Richmond, got in the air, instead hits Burris. Left angle 3, Bank is open late for Armand Burris. 21-10, Stevenson at the end of the one.
Cha-ching is right. Bank is open on that one. My goodness, what a great three-pointer shot to end the first quarter.
This is the consolation final of the 2023 Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with second quarter action after this on SportsTownChicago.com.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
21-10, our score. Stevenson with the lead to start the second quarter. Nick Johnston, I'm Chris Rouse on the call. And now Lincoln Way Central on offense, top of the key. McLaughlin lost the ball, and now a violation as we're going to get a travel on Lincoln Way Central. A turnover 8 seconds in.
It looks like it was going to be a turnover regardless. So rather they get the turnover violation, a sideline out of bounds, than a breakaway layup.
Brett Bethke ended the ball game for Lincoln Way Central. I think I listed him as a starter. Accidentally, Luke Tingley actually got the start instead of Bethke, who's in for the first time, obviously now. 24 in black for Lincoln Way Central. Stevenson will get the inbound with 7:52 to go in the first half. Still got 3 more games after this, all placement, and likely all games will have a tournament member announced because we have not had any all-tournament team members announced yet today, as now Pagliocca has the top of the key. Jack Dabbs right wing. Aiden Bardick driving baseline. Kicks to the left corner. Stevenson looking for some points here. Dabbs got the pass. Pagliocca left angle 3. Off the rim. Dabbs was at the right angle, and he gave it to Pagliocca left angle. Cagnolati to the basket. Up to Barrett, top of the key. He'll redirect to 30 feet at the volleyball line. Barrett over to McLaughlin. Top of the key now for Lincoln Way Central. Here's Barrett, right angle now. Closely guarded. Had a defender in his chest. Now a switch for Stevenson as they get Curtin on the ball. Barrett just picks it up and swings it back around to McLaughlin. McLaughlin looking for the screen. Looking for someone that said he has 2 guys there, and he didn't like either of them.
Only 3 seconds on the shot clock, too.
Barrett to let it go. He beat the horn. He got the shot off, and it's good for 3. Kevin Barrett makes the 3, 21-13.
Good find as the shot clock was expiring.
Stevenson into the front court. Passes off to Dabbs on the left baseline. Dabbs into the paint. Pagliocca right corner. Bit of a hop as he stopped the paint now. The free throw line jumper is good for 2 for Pagliocca. Pagliocca now with 5 to match his jersey number. 23-13 the score for Stevenson, up 10. Lincoln Way Central with the ball with McLaughlin. Over to Barrett left wing. Barrett holding. Barrett spins. Cross-court pass stolen by Bardick. Nice ups by Bardick to get there. Right hand left from the left block. Good for 2. Curled it in.
Unfortunately, he went up with trying to shoot and just left the pass in the wrong passing lane.
Owen Novak into the game for Lincoln Way Central. He tried to block that shot. Was a little bit late on the reverse layup. McLaughlin. Top of the key now. Bounce pass over to Cagnolati. Cagnolati driving down to the right block. Right hand layup off the glass. Good. Got a piece of the rim actually and went in.
Nice moves to create some space right there.
25-15. Well, Cagnolati got a piece of it, but he knocked it out of bounds, and it'll stay with Stevenson on the inbound.
Good way to keep the hands nice and active.
Luke Tingley back in for Lincoln Way Central, as is Logan Bechtold. So 2 starters returning, giving McLaughlin his first break and bringing Bethke back to the bench. Double team in the backcourt by Lincoln Way Central. Stevenson able to break the press and get up the floor. Ball goes through the paint and out of bounds. It'll stay here with Stevenson. Atticus Richmond back in. 5:24 to go in the half. 25-15 Stevenson Patriots with a 10-point lead over the Lincoln Way Central Knights. Burris thought he was going to go inside to Dabbs. Instead, he goes to the corner to Pagliocca. Pagliocca up top to Dabbs. Here's the top of the key 3 from Burris. Rattle it home, Armand Burris.
Burris is 3 for 3. He's cooking from that 3-point line.
Certainly feeling it here. The Patriots have extended their lead to 13. Knights with the ball on the offensive end. Cagnolati at the wing. Now he dribbles back to the top of the key. Guarded by Pagliocca. Feeds it inside. Novak dropped the ball as he tried to drive on his defender. Barrett gets it down to Cagnolati. Step back 3. Cagnolati off the mark. That was well short. It did hit the rim. Rebounded by Richmond. 4:38 to go. Dabbs to Burris. Actually, that's not Burris. That's a 3. We got a name on this kid?
We do not, unfortunately. He's not listed right now.
Yeah, that's 21 from Stevenson. I was waiting on him to score before I said his name. I was trying to see if maybe somebody had it. But they didn't even call it in the building. So unnamed kid, number 21 for Stevenson. Buries the 3, 31-15. What are you liking out of Stevenson right now?
A lot of fast and active hands. Honestly, both sides, not a lot of fouls. So it's been really fast action. So it's been nice and tight from these young individuals, from these young men.
Still to come later, Brother Rice. I know you did the double overtime game last night. They'll be in action tonight against Oswego East.
That was tons of fun.
What's a quick preview on that one?
Between, I'm sorry,
Brother Rice and Oswego East.
Brother Rice, Oswego East, man, that's gonna be jam-packed. I would think maybe some moves from Sharkey, Zach Sharkey had tons of fun calling his name.
That would be the final game though. That's
okay.
I said Brother Rice, Oswego East. That would be the championship.
Oh, in that case, we're gonna see some Zach Fitch in that situation.
Xavier
Fitch. My apologies. Picking up all these names, learn all these young men's names all on the first day. It's tough all at the same time. So my apologies.
31-15 the score. 4:31 to go. Stevenson still hasn't quite broken their huddle. That's the reason for the delay. So we're ready to go. Lincoln Way Central's ready to go. Stevenson is finally on the court. Now we can resume the games.
Taking their time.
4:24 to go. Good reason to take their time. They have a 16-point lead. Ball goes up top to McLaughlin. Back in the game. Over to Barrett. Left corner three. Finally lets it fly. Left it off the rim. Rebounded by Dabbs. A one-hand rebound by Dabbs, but a foul.
A very athletic move to just maintain the rebound with just one hand.
Foul. Actually, the foul will go on Dabbs.
Oh,
That's
they call a loose ball foul on that one?
How could he have gotten a foul? He had the ball in his hand. I guess he pushed off to get clear.
Possibly.
As now we get a spin move in traffic. No good for Lincoln Way Central. They can't seem to buy one inside.
They're getting good looks. They're just not able to fall.
Beck to missed that one. That was Donnie. By the way, Donnie Williams is 21 for Stevenson, who hit that three earlier. His name once again, this is one of the first times I've been in Hinsdale for 6 seasons. This is the first time we've had so many kids not named on the roster. Richmond misses the three. Rebounded by Lincoln Way Central. McLaughlin over to Barrett, left corner. 3:37 to go. Barrett top of the key, guarded by Richmond. Barrett gets it back now with 3:30. They dump it down low. Spin move for Bechtold. In traffic, he missed it long off the rim. Good touch, just long shot. Bardick, the lob. Richmond, the jam. Alley, go. Oh, Stevenson Patriots. Jalen Brunson's probably proud somewhere.
Put the ball where only he could put it in, and he flushed it.
Pass over to Barrett, left wing. Back up top to Barrett. McLaughlin from Barrett. Tingley over to McLaughlin. Guarded by Burris. On the drive. Kicks it out. That's off the hands of one of his teammates. Bardick's going to run it down for a 2-on-1 if he can save it. He does. Behind the back to Dabbs. Oh, what a finish. Behind the back to the right high post. Left hand layup by Jack Dabbs.
To the wherewithal to know that his man is right behind him. So he just slides the pass right behind him. Perfect play.
Stevenson by 20 here with 2:33 to go in the half. Patriots not wasting time in this one. McLaughlin guarded by Bardick. They only wasted time getting on the court late to start this quarter. Tingley. Back into Barrett. Barrett out near the half-court circle here. Shot clock at 6. Barrett picked up his dribble, and he's about 20 feet from the basket. McLaughlin curls to the basket. Left-hand layup, no good. Rebounded by Richmond. Knights can't seem to score within 10 feet. Dabbs to Burris. Right angle jumper. Good for 2. That's an 18-footer.
Burris gets the ball. That ball, it's going to go in the cup.
37-15 Stevenson. 1:48 to go in this half. By the way, this is a very quick first half considering that second half felt like it took an eternity in the last game.
Like I said, not a lot of fouls called, so not everyone, they're letting the boys play.
Yeah, much cleaner game than we just saw between Main South and Niles North. Here's McLaughlin, left-hand layup off the bounce pass to free him up from Owen Novak.
Kind of ends that scoreless run right there for the Knights.
37-17 the score, but they're still down 20. Burris into the front court over to Pagliocca. Top of the key for Stevenson. Aiden Bardick left wing. Down to the left elbow. Over to Dabbs left corner. Now he drives into the middle of the paint. Right-hand layup. He's too fast for Novak, but he couldn't score. Novak tapped it up. Pagliocca was there. He'll get the credit.
A little bit of help from your friends right there on that one.
Remember in basketball, if the other team punches it in, the player closest gets to score. That's Pagliocca. Outside to McLaughlin. McLaughlin passes over to Tingley. I'm sure this is going to be a quick trip to the drawing board for Lincoln Way Central at halftime. Tingley spins in traffic for the floater. 39-19. Stevenson by 20 as Armand Burris gets into the front court. Armand Burris. Over to Jack Dabbs, left angle. That's 12-13 on the pass. Pagliocca up top with 24 seconds and counting, about a 4.5-second differential game in shot clock, which means Lincoln Way Central, if they get the board, should have time to heave it. Here is Aiden Bardick. It's literally 4.5-second differential. Bardick to Pagliocca. Hands it right back to Bardick. Game clock at 10. Shot clock at 4 now. As Bardick kisses it off the glass, he's fouled. And with 8.1, there's 3 on the shot clock, so it was a 5-second differential.
Smart play right there to just go ahead and drive into the lane. If you're going to go ahead and get the contact, go get fouled even this late with just 8 seconds left on the clock.
McLaughlin picked up the foul. And Aiden Bardick back to the line. And he misses the first. Cagnolati back in for Lincoln Way Central, along with Bethke. Give them an opportunity to create something offensively here if there is a miss or on the inbound. 8 1/10 of a second to go. Donnie Williams set to check back in for Stevenson. He'll get Bardick. Williams had a 3 earlier when we didn't know his name. We know his name now. And actually, he's going to get Pagliocca instead of Bardick, so they're going to keep the size while the Patriots. Barrett gets the inbound, goes to Bethke. 5 seconds to go. Cagnolati into the front court with 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. Floater up off the rim, and that will end the half. Barrett's shot won't count. Short anyway. And it's 40-19. Stevenson Patriots thoroughly in control of this one. And we'll take a break. Second half action of the Consolation Championship on the other side of this bracket here on Sportstown, or on the other side of this break here on SportsTownChicago.com.
If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Back here at the Hinsdale Bank Gym in Hinsdale, Illinois, it's the 2023 Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Chris Rouse, Nick Johnston, Nick Stevenson up 40-19 as we get the second half started.
Yeah, Stevenson came out of the halftime out pretty early, so they were shooting around, not taking their time and getting out to another 2 points right there.
Jack Dabbs scoring with a left-hand layup from the left block. Dabbs now with 6 in the ball game. If that is updated on the scoreboard here, it might be 8. Let's check back to that in a second. Here is Lincoln Way Central on offense. Barrett on the drive. Kicks over to McLaughlin. Left angle 3 off the rim. It is 6, by the way, for the basket on the other end for Dabbs. Rebounded by Richmond now here for Stevenson. Still got the 5th place game coming up next. Hinsdale Central versus Rockford Auburn. 3rd place game, Brother Rice and Oswego East. Here's a steal from Cagnolati away from Burris. Cagnolati to the basket. Right-hand layup, point blank at the rim.
And if the Knights want to get going any sort of way, it's going to have to be through Cagnolati.
42-21, Stevenson with a 21-point lead. If you haven't been following us all week, if you get a 30-point lead in the 4th quarter, it's automatic running clock the remainder of the game. So Stevenson right now up 21 would love to put themselves in position for said rule. As now here's the miss there for Bechtel. Barrett to McLaughlin, takes a step in. Nice shot, but he couldn't get it to go. Rebounded by Dabbs as it went right rim off to the left rim.
That's been the story of the game so far for the Knights. Finding good shots, just not being able to connect.
The Rockford Auburn Knights starting to walk into the building. They'll be playing the 5th place game up next. Here's Burris over to Pagliocca. Pagliocca step through, looking for a teammate. He's got Richmond. Up top to Armand Burris. 6:18 to go in the 3rd. Nice drive inside as Aiden Bardick is fouled on his way to the basket.
Left it just short, but left it short for a reason. He did, in fact, get fouled.
I know we just mentioned Rockford Auburn. They had some pretty good games in the tournament. The double overtime game they had the other day against Brother Rice. Excuse me, the overtime loss they had against Brother Rice. And then, of course, set Brother Rice up for the double overtime game yesterday. As now Bardick makes the first. Rockford Auburn coming off of an 82-57 win over Niles North yesterday. Now they'll play the Hinsdale Central Red Devils, who won 61-51 yesterday. Free throws are good. 42-21 Stevenson. It's been all Patriots in this one, Nick.
Sure has. It's been all Patriots in the first half, all Patriots in the second half so far.
Barrett down low. It's actually on the left high post. It goes to Cagnolati now off the handoff. Good for Cagnolati from Bechtel.
Another good one for Cagnolati, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago.
Cagnolati's got 10. 10 of the 23 for Lincoln, or excuse me, 12 of the 23 they updated it here in the building. Here's Dabbs, turns the corner, right-hand floater is in and out. Rebounded by Burris, out to Pagliocca. He got Cagnolati to fly by him, but he couldn't shoot the ball. Bardick to Dabbs, right angle, right elbow now as he stopped on the dime to Dabbs. Bardick hands it back to Richmond, top of the key. Right-left crossover to the basket, right-hand layup, kiss is good for 2. Atticus Richmond, I'd be surprised if he's not on the all-tournament team. He's had an amazing performance this week for the Stevenson Patriots.
Phenomenal play right there to add to that resume.
The lead is double. Stevenson with 46, Lincoln Way Central with 23. Ball laid up. McLaughlin is fouled, and he'll go to the line to at least try to get Lincoln Way Central from being doubled by Stevenson.
So the Knights are finding themselves getting a couple more points now, but just not allowing the offensive rebounds on the other end. That's what's killing them so far in these first couple minutes in the second half.
Ben McLaughlin has stepped to the free throw line here with 5:12 to go in the third quarter. Ball up and in for McLaughlin. I have to say this Lincoln Way Central team, they have been impressive in this tournament. The wins they got over Lane Tech and Schaumburg, I have to say those certainly shocked me. I thought Schaumburg would get that win because they had size. Foul trouble has hurt them most of the tournament. And Lane Tech, just their inability to hold on to leads caught up with them again in yesterday's game. McLaughlin hits the free throw. This is a Lincoln Way Central team who last year in the tournament played a final score of 30-27 versus Maine South, where there wasn't a single field goal in the second quarter, and one team went scoreless.
Oh, my. That is a rock fight if I've ever seen one.
Here's Jack Dabbs, top of the key. Over to Pagliocca. Right wing. Atticus Richmond. Over to Burris, right elbow. He stopped on the dime and got it. The ball ripped away. Great defense by Lincoln Way Central. Realized Burris gave up his dribble. Barrett stops just short of the timeline. Now he crosses it at 4:46. McLaughlin right angle. Steps inside the arc. Problem for Lincoln Way Central, their team focused on looking for twos, but you're down 21 and the clock is an enemy. There's a steal for Aiden Bardick. Bardick to the basket. Right-hand layup. What a finish by Aiden Bardick. He's another guy I would be surprised if it's not. I'd be surprised if he's not on the all-tournament team.
Yeah, he's having some nice finishes at the cup right there. All game long.
48-25, Bardick with 8. Now, Cagnolati is actually Lincoln Way Central's leading scorer right now with 12. He's the only one in double figures. Cagnolati over for a 3. Tingley gets it in. He's got 3. That's 5 in the game for Tingley after that 3.
It's one of the threes that you just talked about. That's what they need.
20-point game, 48-28. Aiden Bardick, right corner, now down to the right block. Kicks out a pass to Atticus Richmond. Left corner, 3 off the rim.
Trying to match it, can't do it.
Pagliocca over the back on the offensive foul. He got a hand on the ball, but he knocked Cagnolati to the floor trying to get the board. Donnie Williams and Liam Curtin back in. Now to get Dabbs and Burris off the court. Wonder if we'll see how much more of Dabbs we'll see in this game, considering Stevenson is up 20. If the reserves can put this one away, I think Will Benson, he might just go to the reserves here. Barrett, right wing, guarded by Williams. Williams was giving him some good minutes off the bench, 21 in white. Unknown earlier, very much known now. Cagnolati over to Barrett. Barrett, back to Cagnolati. Right wing. Here's a 3 opportunity for Novak. Got it to go.
Back-to-back threes there for the Knights.
Owen Novak makes it 48-31 with 3:18 to go. The great equalizer in basketball, the 3-point shot. Long before Steph Curry was knocking him down, everyone was saying it was the great equalizer. Lincoln Way Central starting to find them from deep here, Nick, in this third quarter.
Sure enough, they have. They're doing what they can to get into this lead, to cut into it. Sure enough, it'll become one after another, hopefully, with these threes.
I wasn't here for yesterday's games, so I don't know what happened in the night session by visual. What were some of your favorite moments of the night session from yesterday?
Well, it had to be, obviously, the back and forth in that double overtime. That was a phenomenal matchup between 2-6-7 matchup between Bullock and Fitch. So that was a fun back and forth, battling down low between the two of them. But like I mentioned, Zach Sharkey came up very much clutch in a couple of key situations in that game. Ended up one of the turnaround little baseline jumper right around there to end up tying it to force a second overtime. So that was pretty exciting right there. Overall, phenomenal basketball from the 3 games I was at yesterday.
Still to come tonight, the third place game is at 7 between Brother Rice and Oswego East. The Oswego East Wolfpack always a bridesmaid. Never conceded to quite win the tournament. They've been to the championship the last 2 years, resulting in losses to HF, Homewood Flossmoor, and Hinsdale Central, who finally won their own tournament last year. This year, they'll be in the third place game against Brother Rice. And Marion Catholic looking to get their second HC Square championship. They won it in 2018. They'll look to beat DePaul Prep, who's back in the championship after losing the only overtime game in the history of this tournament, in the only championship game to go to overtime in the history of this tournament in 2019. Bardick over to Williams. Williams lost it to McLaughlin right into his hands, almost passed it to him. Easy layup for Barrett, right hand layup, left block.
Nice touch on that layup right there.
And just like that, Lincoln Way Central, they've got it down to 15. We were talking about maybe running clock. Lincoln Way Central might make this a game in the fourth quarter. Bardick to Williams. Looking for Dabbs. Didn't want to force it. Smart call. Pagliocca to Dabbs. High post on the right side. Left-hand layup is not going to go, but he is fouled as the big Jack Dabbs is knocked to the floor.
Sure enough, he was trying to make his move to the cup. Got hit, and sure enough, and he will find his way for 2 free throws.
I love the mix of styles that we get in this tournament, but also the different places that some of these teams are in moving forward. We talked about how Morgan Park sort of trying to rebuild their program earlier. Now Stevenson sort of in a bit of a transition phase with Coach Ambrose no longer there. Will Benson taking over. And here they are in this tournament. Another good showing, looking to go 3-1 with a win here. Stevenson's previous 2 wins, 65-35. They ran past Morgan Park yesterday. And then a 69-62 win over Plainfield East on Thursday. That following a 2-point loss to Rockford Auburn, where the game ended with a Terry Horton steal on Stevenson's last opportunity to score. Barrett over to Cagnalotti, guarded by Dabbs. Over to Novak left wing. Swings it down to the left block to McLaughlin. Back to the basket with Bardick guarding him. Now he'll just side dribble out. And now you feed it down low to Novak because they just traded spots. Novak working on Pagliocca. Let me see those feet, young man, working in the post.
Absolutely solid move right there to get the 2.
Couple of step throughs there. Old school fans think Kevin McHale will be proud. Younger fans think Shakur Nikola Jokic. Donnie Williams inside and he's fouled. Donnie Williams knocked to the floor in the middle of the paint. That foul go against Barrett. First goes against Barrett. Number 11 picks up his first. Couple of subs here for Stevenson. Craig Ja in for the first time, number 22. And Armand Burris, number 12. Ja lobs it in, stolen by Cagnalotti out of the air. Cagnalotti left-right step through. Blocking foul on Burris only because he was moving. Cagnalotti was out of control, but Burris was also rolling as he kind of rolled into him on the Euro.
Yeah, you got to get the positioning right there at that point. If you couldn't get it right there, should just went up and tried to go for the block as clean as you can.
Job by Cagnalotti, also pushing him as low as he could under the basket. You're either going to foul me or you're going to make a play. That time you fouled him. Timeout, Stevenson. And I think Coach Benson, he wants to settle his team down. It's 49-36 Stevenson. They still have a 13-point lead. But it feels like this lead should have ballooned in this third quarter. Lincoln Way has sliced it down to 13.
Yeah, slowly but surely doing what they can in there. Patriots haven't been scoring a ton since the beginning of this half. So off a couple threes, a couple wide open 2-pointers, and not going into that, cutting into that 20-point deficit. So sure enough, we're making it a little bit of a game. Still a little bit of time here in this third quarter to get just into single digits, maybe. I think that would possibly be the goal.
That has to be the goal for Lincoln Way Central. I mean, you're down on the scoreboard by 13 here. You've rallied back. It was 46-23 not too long ago. Since then, they've outscored Stevenson 13-3. And with a chance to make it 15-3 with Cagnalotti at the stripe. And we were talking about running clock. Stevenson doubled him up on the scoreboard. But now Cagnalotti at the stripe to extend this run. He misses the free throw. Run down by Pagliocca. Gives it up to Williams. Ball knocked out of bounds. And it will go to Lincoln Way Central.
Good defense right there by the Knights, excuse me.
And the Knights have picked up their intensity here in this third quarter. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. 1:58 exactly.
Ball was tapped all around, so good IQ to stay with it.
Novak to Barrett into the backcourt. Fresh 35 for Lincoln Way Central, and they'll have the whole shot clock in the front court.
That could be humongous right now in this possession.
Barrett with the right wing, guarded by Williams, who poked it away from him briefly. Barrett on the drive baseline, feeds it into Novak. Too many white jerseys down there, too many that they even tripped over each other. Novak got the ball back. Novak blocked down low, saved by Big Jack Dabbs, all six of them in the air. Williams leading the break. Nice feed to Liam Curtin, but an offensive foul will negate the bank-in layup from Curtin.
What a tremendously clutch defensive play right there to get the charge.
Donnie Williams, nice pass as he dropped it off, but he ran right through the defender. And Williams will go to the bench for Bardick, as Stevenson will get number 4 back out there with exactly 90 seconds, minute 30 on the clock.
And I mean, had it not been for that charge call, that would have been a phenomenal feed right there for the layup.
People always ask me, why do you convert the time to seconds? Because I assume you all can count to 100. Here's Cagnolati, right elbow jumper.
Not me, I went to public school.
Rebounded by Dabbs for Stevenson. I'm sure there's plenty of public school grads who can count to 100.
God, yeah.
Liam Curtin. Over to Pagliocca. Stolen away by Cagnolati. Right-hand layup off the glass for 2. 49-38. Stevenson by 11 with 56 seconds.
Like I was saying, if the Knights wanted to get into it, the offense is going to have to run through Cagnolati, and sure enough, a lot of it has.
Pagliocca over to Dabbs. Right wing. Back up to Burris. Left elbow, partially blocked. Might have just left it short. I don't even think Barrett got that much of it. Pagliocca, turnaround shot off the rim, knocked out of bounds by Lincoln Way Central. Bechtold frustrated with his hands as he couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, not many blemishes on Burris's game, but that was a big block right there.
49-38, Stevenson. With the ball, they inbound to the right of their basket. 11 on the shot clock with Burris. Burris to Pagliocca. Right corner 3 off the pin down. No good. Rebounded by Lincoln Way Central as Novak came out of traffic with it. Bechtold over to Barrett left corner. 22 seconds. Barrett into the paint. McLaughlin with a right-left shake. No travel this time as he kicks it over to Cagnolati. Anytime you see that right-left or left-right shake, watch for the travel. Here's Cagnolati with 10 seconds. Cagnolati at 30 feet. Left-right crossover. Dribbling with the right hand. Cagnolati, right wing. 2 seconds. 1 second. Ball knocked out of bounds with 0.9. Lincoln Way Central. This is going to be a tough shot because that inbound has to come from the corner.
Still enough time to get something heaved up, but not going to be the best shot.
0.9 to go. Cagnolati looking to the bench. He's likely in the curl to that right corner. There's no one in the corner for Lincoln Way Central. Right idea, wrong guy. It was McLaughlin. Burris gets the steal out of the air, and at the end of the quarter, it's 49-38 Stevenson Patriots as we head to the fourth quarter. This one played at a fast pace. We'll be right back with the conclusion of the Consolation final here on SportsTownChicago.com.
You ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say 4-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.
I came to Illinois Media School because I want to give back to the current students. It's something that really means a lot to me as an instructor, as a mentor, because I've been in this business for over 20 years. So it meant a lot to me to be able to come back and just teach some of the tricks of the trade to the students here at Illinois Media School. I'm Jonathan Hood from SiriusXM NBA Radio and ESPN Radio from the Illinois Media School campus in Lombard, and I am IMS.
Second half action continues as we begin the fourth quarter here between the Stevenson Patriots and the Lincoln Way Central Knights. Here at Nick Johnston, I'm Chris Rouse. Nick, Lincoln Way Central Knights running that third quarter. Do they have enough time to rally this one?
Possibility if they keep running through Cagnolati like they have been. Sure enough, that's a possibility. 7 points from it and also assisting on 2 big threes. This could be a big factor right there for the Knights.
Cagnolati to this point in the game, he's got 15. Barrett with 7 as well. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor for Stevenson, they have Armand Burris. He's got 13. That leads the way for them. Kevin Barrett, top of the key. Over to Novak. 3 on the way, left wing, no good. Rebounded by Burris, middle of the floor for Stevenson.
Almost got tied up right there on that rebound.
Bardick, left hand layup, left block for 2. 51-38 Patriots.
And having such a big lead, they're going to have the Patriots are going to have to get back out on their horse.
Barrett, left wing. Looking, pass up top. Oh, Bardick got a piece, but McLaughlin came away with it. McLaughlin bounce pass into traffic to Bechtold. He's down on the floor. Ball stolen away by Dabbs. Good use of his hands as Bechtold fell. Richmond to Bardick. Baglioka. Right corner 3. Escape dribble 3 on the way. Off the rim. Rebounded by McLaughlin. McLaughlin to the basket. Left hand layup. Left block. Burris just let him have it. He's laid it in over him.
McLaughlin led it the way from one end to one end. Sure enough, he got the layup.
51-40 Stevenson. 6:45 to go in the game. Dabbs a 3. No hesitation in that 3, but he missed it. Here's Lincoln Way Central with McLaughlin in the front court. I have to say Stevenson playing with a lot more confidence this year. I remember last year Stevenson, they had some players, but it seemed like they were hesitant to shoot the ball. Not the case this year in the tournament. Cagnolati. Over to Bechtold. Back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin on the drive. Pass up top to Cagnolati. And Lincoln Way Central with 7 on the shot clock will get a reset. Trying to get the lead down to single digits. Cagnolati to the basket with 1. Blocked! Shot clock violation as Atticus Richmond sent it out of bounds. I'm not sure how that's going to be Lincoln Way Central ball. That's clearly a shot clock violation.
Oh, yeah. Sure enough, it will be. It's a great spin move there by Cagnolati, but sure enough gets a nice block right there.
He spun into traffic, but it was Atticus Richmond who also stood over him afterwards for just a second, so he didn't get a tee. He swatted it out of there. Jack Dabbs, nice spin baseline off the drop step. Paglioka left block with the right hand for 2.
Nice find right there.
Dabbs is 6'6". He literally just dropped that to Paglioka for the layup. McLaughlin, right angle, top of the key now, guarded by Bardick. Bardick takes a stab at it about 30 feet away from the basket. McLaughlin gets around him, feeds Bechtold, left block for a right-hand layup.
Patriots defense was getting up in their grill, but sure enough just leaves a man wide open on the down low on the block.
Bardick, top of the key. Over to Burris, 18 feet right wing. Now inside the arc to Dabbs on the right block. 18 feet is inside the arc. As now here's Paglioka to the free throw line. Back out to Bardick. And he redirects to about 30 feet now. That's the volleyball line. Bardick, top of the key. Over to Paglioka, left angle. Beyond the arc, now inside the arc. Free throw line, spin move, traffic. Shoots it up, off the rim. Rebounded by Dabbs. Deflected to the corner to Bardick, right corner, in front of the bench. Atticus Richmond, top of the key, 3. In and out, the Stevenson bench came to their feet. Loose ball, tapped to Jack Dabbs for the lead.
Jack Dabbs, right place, right time for that rebound, and just puts it right back up.
9 for Dabbs, 13 the advantage after 13 scored for Stevenson. Cagnolati. Up top to Novak. Cagnolati right wing. Over to McLaughlin, top of the key, 3. Nothing but space and opportunity, and he cashed it in.
Good pick right there to create some space for McLaughlin on that 3.
55-45, 4:28 remaining in the game. The Stevenson Patriots looking to win the consolation final here over the Lincoln Way Central Knights. This has been a fast-paced game.
Absolutely, it has. And if there's any shot for the Knights to win this game, they're going to have to clean up any sort of offensive boards like I was mentioning earlier right now. And just the down low presence of Dabbs is coming into play right now. His height and the way he's moving it, it's clearly a factor right now.
We'll conclude the tournament here on SportsTownChicago.com. Game number 30 coming up next. That's the 5th place game between Rockford Auburn and Hinsdale Central. Game 31 is the 3rd place game between Brother Rice and Oswego East. But we're all here for the championship. It's Championship Saturday. Marion Catholic versus DePaul Prep. Marion already the 2018 HC Squared champions. Meanwhile, DePaul Prep looking for their first title after losing in overtime in 2019 to HF home with Falsmore.
Yeah, DePaul Prep kind of cruised to a win last night, like we mentioned, at double overtime. So maybe hopefully the legs or any sort of cardio isn't an issue in that championship game.
I'm looking forward to Bullock versus McElroy. That should be a fun matchup down low.
Absolutely.
Paglioka over to Bardick. Bardick, right angle. Right, left crossover. Off. Ooh, I thought that was going to be an offensive foul as Bardick ran through Cagnolati, but instead it's a reach-in foul on Tingley on the backside.
Tough call right there.
Starting to see some of the Hinsdale faithful filter into the gym for the host team, the Red Devils, as they get ready to play in the 5th place game. Cross-court pass to Bardick from Richmond.
Almost
Bardick
picked off right there.
Mid-post, got the shot and the foul. Aiden Bardick to the line. He's got 12. 12 for Bardick. 12 is the difference as Stevenson extends their lead. And speaking of 12, Armand Burris, Stevenson number 12, coming to the bench here to talk to Will Benson. And Bardick misses the free throw. Couldn't extend it to 13. Tingley almost carried the ball there, got rid of it in time to bear it. Final 3:50 of this ball game. Driving is Barrett, and a foul as he takes some body contact.
I don't want to say a bailout foul right there, but if you're limiting your options, if you're just running right out almost out of bounds right there.
Right, he ran straight to the baseline and went airborne. It's almost like the force out. Like you said, it bailed him out there. Bechtold in traffic, the spin move, got it to roll. Lincoln Way Central's trying to hang around. 57-47, 3:35 and counting in the ball game. Our next game slated to tip off at 5:15 locally. We might get about 20 minutes to break here. Dabbs had it ripped away and a foul as Barrett got the ball. He thought he got all ball. He immediately walked away and said, my goodness.
Good on those boys to maintain their composure, not get teed up in such an important time right now. But, man, oh, man, I kind of agree with it. A little bit of
an offensive foul as Pagliocca, he hit Cagnolati right in the face. I was getting ready to say, after Barrett picked up that foul, he couldn't believe it. He and Armand Burris were having a laughing conversation, like saying he caught that same thing on me earlier. Because I saw Armand Burris look right at him. He said, that's the same foul he called on me against you earlier.
Yeah. A little back and forth between the boys. That was good.
Burris is still smiling out at half court talking to Coach Benson. As now Barrett approaches him at the timeline, back to being serious with the game back in motion. Cagnolati over to McLaughlin, right corner jumper, in and out, tapped out by Dabb. Smart play to back tap it, and then he ended up with the rebound because it got deflected to him. Aiden Bardick across the timeline. 3 minutes exactly to go in this game. Stevenson well on their way to a 7th place finish here at Hinsdale 2023. Dabbs, Bardick, 3 off the rim. Rebounded by McLaughlin off the miss from Bardick.
Patriots have been letting these threes fly, but just haven't been connecting.
Barrett thought about it, got Burris in the air, goes around him for a floater in traffic. Nice kiss off the front of the rim and he got the roll.
Slowly but surely, still 2:35 left. There's plenty of time to get in this, make it a ball game.
Aiden Bardick approaching the timeline. He crosses it, guarded by McLaughlin with 2:27. Jack Dabbs, left wing. That's about 32 feet from the basket. Dabbs hands it off to Bardick. Coach Benson wants a timeout for Stevenson. 8-point lead. Lincoln Way Central, for all they've done in this game, they've cut away at the lead. They've made it interesting, but still down 8 with about 3 minutes to go.
I mean, being down as much as 23 and being down 8 right now with just 2:30, that's a huge accomplishment. But couple of things they need to do is just get us, sure enough, just the simple things: get a stop, get a score, get a stop, and get a score with a couple of minutes left. They can do that with just that amount of time. Doesn't need to be threes necessarily with still a couple minutes. This is doable. This is doable operation. So I'm sure they're trying to call up some sort of play in that huddle right there.
The winner of this game will win the 7th place. Will win 7th place in the tournament. They also go 3-1. And the reason why they'll be 7th place is because both of these teams have already lost to teams that have already won in the tournament, with Rockford Auburn beating Stevenson. And then, of course, earlier on in the tournament, it was Rockford Auburn who they defeated Stevenson. And then, of course, Lincoln Way Central had their early first round loss at the hands of DePaul Prep. Aiden Bardick. Ball up the court. Finding Burris. Over to Pagliocca. Pagliocca down low to Richmond. Lays it up and in for Richmond.
Doing exactly what you need to do when you're getting pressed. You pass, you keep on passing, until you find the open man.
Into the front court now is Barrett. McLaughlin. 10-point lead. There's Barrett. 3 off the rim. He shot it from the left wing. Rebounded by Dabbs. Here's Bardick. Minute 50 to go. Bardick tried to sell the foul. Good job by the official not buying. No transaction. Here's Pagliocca. Bardick, double team by Cagnolati. Lincoln Way Central, they left 2 men open by the basket. Pagliocca scores it. Teardrop floater with 90 seconds to go in the game.
If it wasn't going to be one, it was probably going to be the other, like you said, down 2-1 at the box down low.
He could have given it up to Richmond, but no need to as he scored it himself, did Pagliocca. Cagnolati, right elbow jumper, in and out. Rebounded by Stevenson. Coach Benson saying, hold it up, guys. Let's waste some time. They've got 10 to get it over. Bardick has 5 to get it over. He's got 3 to get it over. Bardick has to go. He just got that over to beat the 10-second count.
Teasing us like one of those wrestling things when they're out of the ring.
Pagliocca for 3. That would have iced it, but he couldn't get it. Bardick got the board. That might ice it without them even scoring a point.
Sure enough,
Bardick to Burris, to the right block, to Richmond, to the basket. I thought he was going to give us a dunk, but Tingley fouls him inside. 48 7/10 seconds. Stevenson up 61-49. Foul on Cagnolati. Second on him. Cagnolati with a game high 15. And that's free throws made by Richmond. Richmond now with 11. Timeout Stevenson. Cagnolati, by the way, shares that game high 15 with Armand Burris of Stevenson. And they're starting to get our first trophy of the day down on the court. The 7th place trophy is making its way to the scores table. And I'm looking at Joe Spagnolo, Joe Spags as we call him, one of the organizers of this tournament. He's got 2 all-tournament team trophies. So we're going to have a special announcement clearly after this game once they make the announcement of the 7th place trophy. So if I had to guess, I think it's Aiden Bardick and Atticus Richmond, the 2 guys.
That's a pretty solid guess right there. I would sign my name next to that with you.
We have not had any all-tournament players announced yet. That's very rare. Where we've had 4 games already to do. Well, this is the 5th of the day, and we're just now going to get the first of the all-tournament team players announced. So, at the end of the day, we're going to have some lengthy ceremonies after these games tonight.
Seems like it. That's going to be fun. That ought to be something to look forward to.
Of course, 2 of them will be given out here. Maybe Corey Cagnolati could have stuck in there for Lincoln Way Central. So, let's see who the 2 all-tournament members. We'll find out who the 2 all-tournament team members are in 48 7/10 seconds.
From our vantage point, that trophy is looking nice. I can only imagine from up close.
Of course, they got the 7th place trophy, the 5th, the 3rd, the championship, and the MVP over there. As now Richmond hits the free throw. 63-49. Cagnolati gets it in. Barrett up the court. Across the timeline, now to Cagnolati, right wing. 38 seconds and counting. Pass inside to McLaughlin. He scores a left-hand layup. Quick timeout by Wiley with 33.5 seconds. Coach Wiley for Lincoln Way Central is going to try to prolong this one.
Doing what you can, but it's basically all over but the shouting right here. Down 12 with just 30-some-odd seconds left.
Rockford Auburn, Hinsdale Central coming up next in the 5th place game. This tournament, I'm happy to be out here again. Like I said, my 6th time doing this tournament. I started in 2017. We skipped it, obviously, in 2020. I thought last year, personally, was a bit of a down year in terms of competition. A lot of teams with losing records last year. But with 2 unbeaten teams and the way some of these matchups have gone, tournament right back to form this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing Brother Rice's undefeated streak end last night, that was actually a pretty exciting, a fun little narrative to keep up with yesterday.
And then, of course, Marion Catholic will try to do it for the 3rd time in 3 years. They'll try to beat another undefeated team in this tournament. Remember, actually, they didn't beat, I keep saying that, they didn't beat Oswego East a few years ago, but they took them to double overtime, and Oswego East lost in the finals. And then, of course, last night, Marion beat Brother Rice, and then tonight they'll try to beat DePaul Prep. So for the 3rd time in this tournament, 3rd time in 3 years, not every year, though, Marion Catholic will face an undefeated team.
Odds are stacked against them in that sense, but it should be another tough challenge.
Still,
they can't deal with.
Still remember that 2018 Marion run. They had Aaron Eulis, younger brother of former Chicago Bull Tyler Eulis, and then Chris White. Both came up huge in that tournament. Here's Aiden Bardick. Cross-court pass up to Dabbs. Dabbs to Richmond, the lob. Richmond just caught it. I thought he was going to hold it, but he laid it in anyway, right hand for the left block. 65-51. The Stevenson Patriots are going to win the Consolation Championship. They'll finish in 7th place in the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Cagnolati kicks it out for Bechtel. 3 no good. The Knights call off the Dogs, and the Stevenson Patriots, 65-51, the Consolation champions of the 2023 Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Final thoughts on this one, Nick?
Great battle, nice back and forth. You so slowly but surely, large lead kind of gets away from the Patriots, but they're able to step on the gas still enough to win this ball game. The Knights did what they could to try and keep up. Like I said, a lot of nice shots from Cagnolati, but just not enough. But great showing from both these teams right here.
After this, we will have the 5th place game. But before we take our break to do that, let's see what the announcement is on the court. They've got 2 trophies down there. They are going to eventually announce who the 2 all-tournament team members are. I do see 2 trophies down there, as well as they must hand out the obvious Consolation Championship trophy to the Stevenson Patriots. So Rockford, Auburn, Hinsdale Central, that's going to be next following the conclusion of the trophy ceremonies as they are getting ready to announce it here. So here's a listen to the floor.
Hinsdale Central Holiday Tournament would like to recognize a member of this year's competition to be part of the Joe Spagnolo All-Tournament team. This award is named after the originator and current tournament manager of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic, who will present the award.
It's named after Joe Spags, and he's got the trophies. He's going to hand it out now. Aiden Bardick. Aiden Bardick of Stevenson, the first member of the all-tournament team. And I think this is almost certain Atticus Richmond.
Mike Jesiaro to come forward and present the Consolation Championship trophy to the Patriots of Stevenson High School.
Or maybe they are only, I saw 2 trophies.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
They only handed one to Aiden Bardick. So Atticus Richmond gets rewarded the championship trophy, but it's only Aiden Bardick. So a shocker there. No Atticus Richmond, but Aiden Bardick, the member of the Joe Spagnolo all Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic team. As the Stevenson Patriots with 65-51 win, they win the Consolation Championship. We'll take a break. We'll be right back in about 20 minutes or so with our 5th place game between Rockford Auburn and Hinsdale Central. Thank you for tuning in.